Grand Rising. A bit of a, I call it a trigger warning topic, okay? But for today, it's really to discuss childhood trauma because I can guarantee you, I've experienced it, but I've had to find healing from. Oh, they're back. Hey. Oh, why do you keep running, Carmix? Why do you jump on my live and then jump back off? I mean, because obviously your magic is just a load of shit. So, you know, on to the next. But yeah, I wanted to discuss today, just doing something a little different. Um, the damage childhood trauma causes. And I know there's probably thousands of adults that have never healed their childhood trauma. So they're literally still going through the same turmoil, like a vicious circle. And I'll be honest with you, I never had counseling. I had to heal myself. So, yeah, I did try counseling, don't get me wrong, but I noticed it's not viable for a lot. And obviously, knowing I'm a star seed kind of makes me understand why things have gone the way they've gone. Let me first start by saying the government always knew who we were. Yeah, it was their plan ultimately to keep it away from us and to keep us brainwashed and in poverty so that we can never ascend, you know, or to keep us in addiction or medication so we can never raise our vibrations. Do you understand? That way, they can steal the energy from us and do whatever the hell they want to. That's the fact. Um, but yeah, so even though, of course, a lot of people had messed up childhoods, it still goes on today. But I'm trying to reach the people that don't see a way out. I promise you, there's always a way out. I never believed, outside of the attacks that's been happening to me, whatever to experience, I never thought I would ever see a day that I'd be sat here like this with a totally different perspective on everything, even all the horrendous things I had to endure from birth. Let's have it right, not as a child, from birth, you know. Um, a lot of vague flashback kind of memories of not good things, or just little bits and pieces of different things that can also keep you in that said mindset because of the shit you've had done to you as a child. And it molds you. And I understand it's not easy, but I promise you, on everything I hold dearly, it's worth it. It really is. I promise you, it's worth it. I swear to you, yeah. With all the shit I've had to overcome, considering I have a so-called family, which I wouldn't really call them family because family are actually there for you. Family actually support you. I've never experienced that ever. I never experienced nurturing, care, love, or anything. I've experienced from an early age the lifestyle of an adult, you know, which I know for a fact because of the nurture that I missed in my adolescence, I believe. Of course, it's going to impact into my adulthood. And then at the same time, now I know this is what they've been doing, so there's no way out of that one for them. Um, the fact that they were still abusing me through my adulthood, they were just doing it covertly, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and that was their whole aim. They want you to feel as though you're not worthy or you don't deserve anything or you're not even important, like you don't exist. You do. You're very important. Let's be clear on that one. I grew up in and out of foster cares, children's homes. Um, so I didn't get schooled, none of that malarkey. But yet, though, I know there's a God. Okay, if there wasn't a God, I would not have been sat here. Do you know what I mean? I would not be sat here, you know? And considering what I've had to endure, literally my whole existence, you may as well say, um, yeah, I think I am an amazing, amazing person for that exact reason. All right, for certain issues, you get help with, but for most of it, I never got, I got zero help. And I think that was the hardest part because when you think about it realistically, had I got the support and the nurturing that I should have had decades ago, I probably wouldn't be in this country. My whole life would have been totally different. But obviously, it was orchestrated this way for a reason. I know for a fact it's purely because obviously, people talk. And like I said, it's one thing being abused by your family, but to be trafficked by your family and pimped out by your family, like your parents, that's to me, that's a whole nother level. And the fact that they choose to not take accountability, like, or try and imply that I'm made things up or fabricated things. Let's be very clear. When you're telling the truth, you don't need a good memory. Yeah. Because shit you experience lodges in your mind, That's a fact. Which is why uh I was put under a lot of spell work. A lot of spell work. And that was to suppress my memories. And I understand obviously God allowed it to happen because obviously there is lessons in it for everybody, not just myself, even the people doing this evil deed, you know. And they've had ample time. I mean, these people are doing it. Do you know what I mean? You've got to remember, these people are older than us. They've been doing this probably since creation started, you know? And yeah. The craziest thing is, I went for counseling, yeah, but I had to wait. And I think the only reason why I got this little bit of counseling was purely because I had to sign up to some type of drug treatment thing. So I had to work with an organization. Do you know what I mean? There's like a time limit, and only because I was working with this. Say I was working for the organization for like over a year, for instance. It took about a couple of years to even get a space. There was no viability whenever it came to me, or therefore to capacity. There's always some excuse where I could never receive any help. Not anymore. you know. But yeah, and basically, um, I think back then I thought it would help basically, but I don't think mentally I was ready. If that makes any sense, mentally I wasn't ready, you know. So what ended up happening was they basically you sit down in like a nice little room. You know, it's literally like you get like the little home corners in like in like primary schools. You get like books, or some few little soft toys. It was kind of like that. So I thought it was a bit weird. Like I'm an adult. Why is there like things like this in this room? So I just didn't really read too much into it. I just got on with the session. So basically, it was meant to be like a 45 minute to an hour session, and obviously they go over like the rules and regulations, the disclaimers, blah 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 blah. So cut long story short, she was like, "Oh, if for any reason you get to any stages of your story that are difficult, or you need to take a breather, or bring about too much like negative emotions, she said you can always stop, take a break, so forth and so forth." So I was like, "Cool," but yeah, I think back then I was totally different. Not how I am now, like couldn't look people in the face. I literally couldn't look women in the face. It's like straight away. It's like I don't know why I just felt this heaviness of like shame, and then I started speaking of like my first memories. I never forget. And the one two times I looked up at this woman because I heard her sniffing, so I thought, oh, maybe she's got a cold or something. And then I seen her reach for the tissue, and I'm like, eh? So I'm just talking. I think I had anxiety, so I literally had to sit there and kind of like play with something. Do you know what I mean? And then I think it was just a feeling of shame. Yeah. So I had to just hold on to. I think it was a flannel or a piece of tissue or something that I had to keep rubbing between my fingers. And I never forget. I think we got about 15 minutes in, possibly. It wasn't even that long. And then I just remember speaking. I remember it like it was just because I literally had my head down like this because I felt embarrassed about my childhood. So anyway, I'm telling her my first memories of what I can remember. And like I said, I heard her pluck out some tissue. When I looked up the second time, I think it's because I wasn't looking at her, she didn't expect me to look up. But I sensed something. Honestly, I sensed something. That's what made me look up. My instinct made me look up. Because it's like her breathing changed. Everything just sounded different. Do you know what I mean? So I just knew like, uh-oh, you know? I think when you go through certain abuses, it heightens your senses. Not intentionally. I just think that's just what happens basically. So yeah, and then all of a sudden, as I've looked up at her, I've seen her wiping away tears, and then her nose started running, and then she was like all apologetic, and I remember just freezing in fear, just looking at her like, holy shit. And she needed to take a break. And I kid you not, that literally terrified me because I thought to myself, I think that's when it hit me that what I experienced was not normal at all. You know, I think it shocked her that much. It broke her. And then she left the room, and I was sat there and I started to panic because that's my nerve setting then. And my brain's in flight or fight mode. Do you know what I mean? Should I stay? Should I run out? And it's like, yeah, everything just went left after that. And then she'd come back in, she apologized for what had happened. But obviously, that's not very professional. But I understood because she's only human. Do you know what I mean? She's not a robot. But yeah, I just went quiet then. It's like, I literally froze. I couldn't speak no more. And then she just said, I think she could see I was a bit uncomfortable. She was like, "Oh, do you need to get some air?" And I was like, "I think I should." And that was my cue. Let me tell you, I was gone. And I remember as I left, I think I started crying as well, because then where I think where your brain locks away trauma to protect your body as like a trauma response kind of thing, memories started to come up that I hadn't even dealt with before. So that made it worse for me, I think. And it's like I didn't want to deal, I didn't know how to, not saying I didn't want to, I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to express it, I didn't know how to deal with it. So I did everything I could to suppress it. That makes sense. So yeah, I think I just drank. But yeah, that was my first time. And that shit me up. So I never, and I think I was literally, I would say late 20s, early 30s, possibly. Do you know what I mean? So it was a good almost 20 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, in that sense, I understand, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people now that is just living day to day off of medications because they can't deal with the emotions of the trauma they experienced as a child that was not dealt with and not healed. They didn't heal from it. And that is what F's you up in adulthood, you know, because you find it hard to bond with people, you find it hard to form relationships, you find it hard to ask questions, you even ask for anything in general. Do you know what I mean? Uh and you basically don't trust a motherfucker. That's another thing. And because of the shame is made to feel at an early age, without an explanation as to why you was made to feel like that, I think for that, the parents are wicked. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, and that's my opinion on that one. You know, and I vowed never in life to do to my children what was done to me. I couldn't. I couldn't. You know, which is why if anybody's struggling with anything, reach out to somebody, but reach out to the right people, because there's people out there. Cause I've already done it already, and this came from another family member. They was like, "Oh, watch this, listen to this psychic, or watch this attack reader." So they passed me on the information. It's like the information she gave that this person gave me, I could take it both ways. Because at the time, I thought they was doing it uh, to give me peace of mind. Do you know what I mean? Or to give me some answers, but it wasn't. They had their own sick, twisted agenda because now later on down the line, and all this shit has come out. That family member give me that information when they did, or even give me the link to that person. Number one, that was a setup. Number two, they wanted to re-traumatize me, yeah, so that they could have me sectioned, hoping I would lose my head with the information that was given to me. But that plan backfired. And I can guarantee you the same when that has been done to me, for these people to be so comfortable with what they've been doing and how it's been done, this ain't their first rodeo. So they've done this many, many, many times. Many times. And now I don't even like going outside sometimes because it's like now trauma knows trauma, that makes any sense. And just from that little interaction, or just me feeling that person's energy, I'll know like that they've got some unhealed childhood trauma that they need to have and healed from. I know straight away because I've already been through it. So I know the signs, I know the body language, I know the perspective, how they think. I know it because I really lived through it, you know? Um, and that's really sad because and that's why the government are evil. because they are the co-signers of this conduct, you know. 'Cause when you think about it, certain things you experience as a child. When I did speak up, why was I not listened to? Why was I not protected? And that's been done to many, many other people. But yet, though, some bitter, evil, money hungry animal can plot and fabricate a lie on someone that get arrested, sent to jail, prosecuted, all that malarkey. And I've always said certain lot of things, yeah, but it was always like brushed under the carpet or, you know, overlooked kind of thing, you know, or I was always spoken over, you know. And it's funny how everything I used to speak up or see or say growing up, I'm actually seeing it with my own two eyes. And that's what needs to change because I guarantee you, yeah, that kind of abuse to me, that's like premeditated attempted murder. That's how I feel. The level of trauma that I received as a child should be a prosecutionable offense. And because these same people in today's day, 2024, are still doing the same shit, only difference is now they're trying to play victim. Well, I have all those crimes taken off my record that I was prosecuted for that I never did. You know? Shit like that. What about all those fines I had to pay for shit I didn't do? Accountability. Why is the lady that robbed me why is the nurse, who's a thief, obviously, and she's deliberately picking on vulnerable people, sick, vulnerable people, that same broad back Indian nurse with a long ponytail in the BRI, why have she still got a job? Makes you wonder, innit? But yeah, back to what I was saying. So that is why there's a lot of unhealed adults and children. Do you know why they're doing it? Because 9 times out of 10, their plan for me was either the cemetery or jail or straitjacket. And I'm still sat here. Makes you wonder, innit? And for a lot of these people that have done these horrendous, vile acts, heinous acts, yeah, some of them have passed away because obviously their age. But I pray that they're being made to suffer in hell. I hope their punishment is relentless. Relentless. And maybe then I feel like justice has been served. So I don't care if I have to say this a million times over. I'm going to keep exposing the truth. I'm going to keep exposing these people. I ain't nothing or nobody that's going to stop me. Nope. So, and this is why you should always be careful about how quick a person is to scandalize another person's name. Because usually people like gossip, don't they? They be like, oh, really? When they say, oh, I heard about so and so, it's like, oh, what? Why? Do you know if you entertain that same slander and that same gossip, you're just as bad as the people gossiping? You see me? I don't want to know. Because God says, who has more to talk, let them talk. You don't have to listen. You don't have to even have a response. You can remove yourself from that situation, remove yourself from that equation. That's what I would do. There have been times where people have tried to engage me in conversation about other people, regardless if I like them or not, and want me to engage with it. And I'll ask them blatantly, out of respect, stop talking about it, to either change the subject or stop talking about it, or I'm going to leave. That's one thing I really cannot stand with people. And this is why I don't mind moving on my own. Because all the friends that I thought was my friends, they was never my friends. They was deliberately kept around me by my family, deliberately to keep tabs on me and to keep at a persistence of bullying or to downplay what I was going through or downplay what I was experiencing. Yeah. And these are people that was paid from the inheritances that was left to me. Funny that, isn't it? But hey, karma's a bitch. And what goes around comes around. Absolutely. And I had to forgive all in order for me to heal and grow and flourish into the beautiful butterfly you see presented before you now. Yeah, I had to. I just gave it to God. 'Cause it was just too much. And because I did that, yeah, the attacks went up, the gang stalking, being even that being followed on by people parked in the car park, just watching my window, not doing anything, mine. Um, I did the right thing. I reported it, gave over the information, and they've done nothing. So now, what's gonna happen now is the roles are reversed now, and everything that I had to experience will now be their reality. So basically, they're just gonna get back exactly what they sent out, nothing more, nothing less. Because I'm like those people, I don't walk with hatred in my heart, you know, or wickedness. Don't get me wrong, I could choose to be wicked if I choose to, but to me, that's a waste of energy, you know. I've been angry for so long for the right reasons, but because I never got an explanation or any answers as to why I was treated the way I was treated, or why I had to go through the abuse that I did. And then for them to turn in and deny it, and these people have children also, so that comment should be passed on to their children, the same way they attacked my children. But at least my ancestors protected them anyway. Except for my eldest, I expected her to be a traitor because she's always been like that anyway. You know, so it wasn't that hard for them to bribe her, should I so to speak. Because they've also been using her since she was a child to go against me. Whenever they couldn't get me to bully me the way they wanted to bully me, they would use my eldest daughter to fabricate allegations against me to get me arrested. That's the type of shit it was doing. And of course, I love all my children, you know, and you always have a special love. You know, you love them all the same. You always have a special bond with your firstborn, you know. And it hurts me that they used her the way they did, but they've been doing this to her from she was a child. But she wants to blame me. That makes no sense. So they need to pay for that. They need to pay for that. Everybody involved, I want held accountable. I'm declaring it. I demand it. Yeah? Judgment. And I'm calling judgment on every single person involved with trying to hurt me, kill me, steal from me, assault me, beat me. Yeah. And I will see it. I'm absolutely sure about that. And that's why I think that's kind of like why God guided me to start up my own little page. You know, I was guided to share my story. And I'm kind of glad I did actually, because when you think about it, had I not done this, I would have never. Well, I might not. Well, I might have still found out, but probably not until a bit later, or maybe when it was too late. But yeah, had I not started this page, I wouldn't have found out what my so-called fake ass comment family was doing my whole life. So the countless times that they stood in my face and lied, but yet though behind my back, they tried to destroy me. That's all they've ever done. All they've ever done. And for what? What can they say I've actually done to any of them? Other than have their back 100%, defend them to my last fucking breath. Sorry for swearing. Do you know what I mean? Always be there for them, all of them. And I'm the only one out of all of those bitches, because that's what they are, bitches. I'd walk to the ends of the earth if they needed my help. And I've done that. But I've not had the transport to get to them. And I've walked and took hours to walk down and help them. And the minute they've gotten the help, they've just discarded me. Oh, you can leave now, kind of thing. Really? All right then. But now they're going through their karma. They're just getting back everything that they've done to not just me, but to others and my children. I'm going to reiterate that again, and my children. I want judgment for everything they've done to my children. Return it to their children, point blank, period. And I have every right to say that because I never attacked anybody. I don't do those things. That's not my character. But now I know 100% that it is their character. Yeah. And there's no denying it either. There's no getting out of it for them at all. Even my own nieces and nephews that I've looked after and been there for and seen them in trouble and being the first one defending them. Even if they're in the wrong, I'm not going to let anybody harm any one of my family members, point blank, period. You know? And I've still been there. But then to find out that this is how he was doing me the whole time, wow. They don't exist to me. And they're lucky I found God. Let's just say that. They're lucky God found me first. They are lucky God found me first. Yeah. And then to know that they actually paid people to abuse me as well is sick. So I hope it gets done to people they love and people they care about and their children and their grandchildren. Oh, yes. An eye for an eye. And that's exactly what I'm thinking of. I never paid no voodoo doctor. No, I never made no voodoo doll. I never did no black magic. None of that. I don't play with none of that. I don't need to. But that's the kind of world we live in. So take it from me. I've seen people that I know for a fact, yeah, should not be in the position that they're in. And there's people that I grew up around, yeah, that had such amazing potential. They was actually like they were stars when they was children, and all of a sudden I see them again, and I'm thinking, what the hell happened? And now I've experienced it myself. The only difference is, no, I wouldn't say a lot stronger, but maybe I was more resilient. Maybe I don't no idea. No, I was protected by my ancestors. That's why. And that it is sad. And it's really funny. I know when everybody wants to act like they don't care, but I can guarantee you, the minute they're experiencing anything like this, they're gonna care. But one thing I would never do, and I don't know why they think that they can ask for my assistance and expect me to grant it. You crazy? It's never gonna happen. Because they want to now know, how did I break free from all the shit they sent to me? But they can't really come and ask me, can they? Because if they come and ask me, it's gonna expose them as the culprits. Do you understand? So they're trying to do it in the most covert way they can, and they're still failing. And I don't understand why the world is so oblivious. Or like that D1 guy says, everybody's walking around with cognitive dissortation. And ever since that man said that word and explained the meaning, I see it everywhere. Whereas before, maybe I was in a different mindset for why I didn't see it, you know. And what they don't like is when you call people out on their shit. What they don't like is when you question their fake authority, you know, or when you challenge them. They don't like that, you see. Which just proves how much corruption we live amongst. And it's worse for you ones that knew what was going on and just turned a blind eye. And for a lot of people, it would be done in a way where they'd be sat waiting for their karma, knowing that they was doing the most in the darkness. And God will pull a 360. It'll make it hit some. It'll make it hit some. It'll make it hit someone real close to that person. The same way how the least people that I expected to be trying to kill me was the one trying to kill me. God's gonna return that exact favor. I promise you that. So so those that chose to take the easy route, what makes you think you have the right to steal, pillage, and rape from others? And then the minute you're exposed, You get a gang of your corrupt officials, your official friends, in your little cult to gang stalk and target one person. There was a good 30 to 40 of you. Yeah. And you've all been sat down. Because you all thought you was big and bad, joining the devil, conjuring up all these ancient dark deities that you had no clue about. That's why it's called forbidden magic. It was not meant for humans. And you've effed around and your ass is found out. Because I didn't. And that's what you call courageous. Not you people. So I know full well you're acting out of your unhealed child side of your adult body. And for that, you get -0 because that's no excuse. And the fact that whatever insecurities you had, you took out on others. Ooh, do you know the karma hit? Do you know the karma backlash from that? Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. And I know it's bad. I know it's bad. And I also know I'm highly protected. I'm valued. I am loved immensely. And just to know I'm one of my ancestors and God's favorites makes everything I went through worth it. Because you know, like that level of love and admiration, I actually feel it. Do you know that? I can actually feel it. And that's something I've never felt love like that ever in my life. Never. Because that is a perfect example of unconditional love. And I emit that same energy. The only difference now is I have boundaries. That's another thing I had to learn. Boundaries. Because I wasn't taught anything, you know? But God was always watching. Always watching. I know a lot of people would say, oh, if there was a God, why am I going through this? Da, 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 da. Once you understand the laws of the universe, everything will make sense because I didn't understand a lot of things, but I do now. And it's for you to take the time to sit with yourself, you know, shut off all distractions, turn off anything electrical, come off the internet, and just sit with yourself. Just sit in silence. Even if you find it hard meditating, just sit, lay, wherever you feel, whatever's comfortable for you. Because not everybody feels comfortable sitting with their legs crossed. Because I know I don't. But you find a position that's comfortable for you, and let God do the rest. That's all you got to do, and you will feel amazing, absolutely amazing. Because I do. But let's be clear. You're probably the only difference maybe is that you won't be restricted the way I was restricted because I was relentlessly attacked. Relentlessly, like these people, as well as my karmic fake ass family, it'd be literally like I got Russia and Germany attacking me, and I'm the only person, I'm the only one in this army on my own, and I'm being attacked by two different countries. That's the best way I can describe it. But hopefully, for most of you, like I said, if you just listen to what I've said and just follow those steps, and remember, keep it to yourself first. Don't make the mistakes that I did, where I um shared things with other people that I thought I could trust. And basically, you can't trust nobody, because all the people that you think you can trust, you're gonna find out that these are the same people that was going right behind your back and destroying you. Yes, I kid you not. And I think that will make you want to react. Hold on a minute. I just need to go to the toilet a sec. I piss on myself in my So I had to just go to the toilet. Sorry. Back again. Now, what was I saying again? Um, yeah. So listen, the way I see it is, if it heals one person, then that's a job well done. You know, it's not about getting praises or recognition. You know, because I know people can be very prideful, like me, quiet when I want to be. But yeah, you know, and if it can help 5 people, then and that to me, that's just me giving back. And I think a lot of people should try that actually. Whether it be giving back to their community, their country, their town, whatever the case may be. But I think that we should, or I should, lobby to have a selfless day where you choose whatever you're going to do, but you do a selfless act to another without looking for a reward. I know for a lot of you that would be kind of hard, because you lot of you are just like ego driven. You need to throw that energy in the bin. It's okay to have an ego in certain circumstances, but in this space, that's not gonna work, you know? And don't just do it because everybody else is doing it. Do it because you want to do it. Because when you don't do things out of genuine kindness, if that person's very intuitive, they're gonna know. They're gonna feel the energy that is fake. And I felt that many, many a times. And either not said anything or was worried to say anything because everything always gets turned back onto me, you know? And when I have, you just lie in your face. Do you know what I mean? It make you feel crazy for even thinking that way of them. When really that's how they really was the whole time. And that's another hard pill to swallow as well, to know that they've been doing this to you all this time and you never knew. Then I used to wonder why they were so quick to want to fall out with me. Or they fall out with me over stupid things, you know? Petty things. Yeah, things that you wouldn't normally fall out of. Do you know what I mean? Or treat people differently. Or behave a certain way in front of one crowd of people and then behave differently around you, kind of thing. Yeah. See, when I have made new friendship, I'm not like jumping in feet first. You know, I'm being a lot more cautious. You know, I don't just allow people access to me like that. And again, nope. And that's another thing that we all need to stop doing. Because that's how your energy can be drained and you won't have a clue where it's coming from. You know, and the craziest thing is, a lot of these people are more insecure and have more self-image issues than they actually make out. Because some of the things why I'm seeing why people attack people, I'm looking at them and I'm like, are you for real? And it's really sad. It is real sad. And this is why I will expose people like that, you know? And there's a lot of them. Yeah, as long as you have your boundaries, do you know what I mean? Don't let no one overstep your boundaries. Keep them implemented. You're good to go. And when I follow that same practice, and I ain't changing my boundaries for anybody, you know? The only people that could tell me about my boundaries is God and my ancestors. Okay? Is God and my ancestors. Yeah, honestly. And for that, I'm truly blessed. Yeah, because I'm telling you what, before when I never knew where I'm talking not like this year or last year, I'm talking like years ago. There were times when I was always getting sick, always in and out of hospital. Do you know what I mean? It'd be the slightest wrong thing added to something I've eaten, or I've gone and bought food from somewhere after specifying what I can and cannot eat. And always, it's like the same thing you tell them that you cannot eat, they rather put it in your food and give it to you. Which is why I stopped buying food from certain places because they never had no manners or respect for the customer, or they just didn't have no care. Really, truly, some of the places shouldn't be open, as far as I'm concerned. You know, that's a whole nother Pandora's box to unpack too. hmm There's a lot of these places that are blatantly selling fake food. Yes, you are, and fake meat. Even one Chinese place that's still open to this day, right next to the Coke station in town, because someone I was around went there. And when I went back to this place and seen it was the same kind of people in this establishment, that just confirmed that they never got shut down. Yeah, another part of corruption now, because it was a Chinese place. You know, we all know what the government's like working with the Chinese. We're like shocked. But yeah, and this Chinese restaurant next to the Coke station, they're selling cats and dogs. And I actually read, I think I seen it twice in the newspaper, and it was actually closed down for a period of time. But they keep saying they're open up under new management, but yet though everything is the same. Everything is the same. These people even got the same carpet. Now that's disgusting. This is why when you go in there, if you go in the evening, the place is like is in darkness. There's no bright lights. They don't want to see what that place really looks like. Yeah, and it was swimming with fleas. I saw a video where someone that I know has ordered something like fried rice and it came in a bowl, and they zoomed in on the bowl. Lord God. I seen it was moving. Hell no. From I walked in there, you just know it literally felt like I walked into a time machine. I went straight back to the time I was taken out to that restaurant and had a meal with someone that took me out, and I was sick with food poisoning. Yeah, I did bring the hospital, but because I was vomiting and diarrhea, and they said there's no need for me to come because obviously my body's dispelling it basically. Yeah, let me tell you. Oh no, 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 no. And I knew it because something I was eating, yeah, the texture just didn't feel right. But you know, sometimes you've had a drink, yeah, and basically only ate because I was hungry. I needed something to soak up the alcohol. Do you know what I mean? But it didn't taste right, and I knew because I knew I had to walk him after that. I was not going to walk him and be falling over, falling on my face. So I kind of forced myself to eat the majority of the food that I'd ordered. Come to find out 6 months later, I read in the Evening Post before the Evening Post stopped doing it, that apparently I think it was a vet must have been in there eating a meal and something like that, and a piece of food, she must went to put a piece of food in her mouth and it was covered in hair. Yeah. And then she must have told the restaurant people that they must have given some stupid excuse as to like what it was, but this one was a vet in it, so she was like, "Nah, fuck this." Um, I swear she took piece away, must have refrigerated it or froze it, whatever the case may be, and she's gone into work and like got it looked at, and basically it was cat. And then they did get reported. So I remember, yeah, they got closed down, and it was actually closed down for not that long, not that long, a few months, because by the end of the year they're open again. I remember walking through town one night, or being out on the town one night, and seeing that red light on. Yeah, it's the exact same color it was when I was taken in there for a meal. Because what they used to do is, 'cause I used to buy it too. Oh my gosh, no. What they used to do was they would say from like a certain time. Say the restaurant closes, I don't know, you can't order food after a certain time, yeah. But supposing, for instance, they've cooked like a certain amount of food, or they expect it to be busy, or someone's cancelled, whatever the case may be, yeah. Basically, if you go there like half an hour to 45 minutes before their door shut, because I think I've done it a couple of times and I was like a bit short on cash. Like if you give them a fiver, they call it leftover, but it's not really leftover because you get like it is actually in container, like they container it up. Do you know what I mean? And they give you like between 2 to 3 containers of the food. whatever's left over basically. And you're only paying a fiver and you're getting about, I don't know, a meal for about 4 or 5 people. So who's really gonna complain? So that was like a regular spot for me, and then they stopped doing it. Do you know what I mean? But obviously I never got what I'd ordered the night I was sick, because that shit would have just put me off straight away. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, but gradually they've just gotten worse over the years. So I know I've like sidetracked from what I was talking about originally, but yeah, you catch my drift though. Okay. So yeah. So those of you that know, start your journey with me. I'm already on my journey, so excuse me. You can jump in at any time. Uh-huh. Yeah, we're just taking out some notes. Sorry. That's what I have to do now, because obviously when you're trying to juggle a few things, yeah, it's like, so yeah, that's what you got to say on that home front. I hope it's useful for us, anybody, and also as well for bloody. I think the main thing is to strategize a plan and then work from there. I believe. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go and what's the time now? Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock already. I'm going to go and make something to eat. Yeah, I'm gonna go and have some late lunch. I have to do a bit of fasting, so yeah. But yeah, guys. So that is part 3 of my healing journey. Okay, guys. I love all my soul tribe. I know my subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.